Hey guys, it's churches, graveyards and graves, and today I am in St Giles in Costock. Where's that? I don't know. But it's a lovely little village just outside Eastleigh, and it's a really hot day today, so it's just lovely to be inside this beautiful little village church. So I'm just going to show you around. It's been heavily restored. The original church was from around about 1350, but there's not much of that left, to be honest. The vast majority of it is from the 1850s, but it's got some amazing graves, so we'll do another video on that in a bit. But I just want to, show you a few details around the inside of the church to start with, because it's open, yay! So that's a good thing. So we'll do that first, and then we'll go out and show you some of the wonderful graves in the outside of the churchyard. So without further ado, here we go. So the first thing I want to show you is these wonderful pews. And look at these lovely oaky tops. And these are probably oak, certainly it's some sort of hardwood. I'm not an expert on wood, but I just love these. And these pew ends are obviously are in the oaky style, and they're just really, really decorative. And you can see that these pews aren't just the normal Victorian pews. They're a little bit older than that. You've got obviously the bench seat, these little back bits, and there is obviously some prayer things here. But these are absolutely fabulous. And they're also decorated down here as well. And they're just so beautiful. And what is amazing is that they're all like little different carvings. So look at this one. So you've got like this like little cherubim with a heart, and you've got a different decoration here. And these are all decorated differently, and I just love these. So when you come into a church, often the interior has been changed quite dramatically, and a lot of the old pews have been got rid of. But in this case, it doesn't seem to be right. And this is just fabulous. Look, you've got these wonderful flowers here, just absolutely amazing. So just something about pews and things like that. If you were wealthy or you were a wealthy benefactor, you would definitely be nearer the high altar. So some of them, I mean, here it's sort of like got a bit of a box. So it's not an original box pew, although it's similar. You've got this lovely acorn in the ogie fashion here. But if you were richer, obviously you would get nearer to the front. So here's the high altar. So you would get a lot nearer to the high altar than what you would do if you were at the back. And in the really old pews, you would have the poorest people right at the back, and you would have the richest people at the front. And that's probably how this was arranged originally, but obviously they've got rid of that. So if you go in the church at Whitby, you can still see that. But these are just absolutely fabulous. They're all slightly different, although all slightly similar. So you have a board here which has got the list of rectors since 1268. So that gives you an idea of the age of the church. That you've got Henry de Carleton in 1268. So that's obviously been recorded in some sort of fashion. And then you seem to have a bit of a gap at 1373 to 1410, a few like little gaps, right the way along to 2013. And then you've got these windows here, these beautiful stained glass windows. And here we have like Jesus, and looks like the Archangel Michael and St. George at the side. So it's an amazing window, that one. Really beautiful. And here we have another window, and we seem to have Mary with the boy Jesus, and that looks like the prophet, or St. Luke and St. Elizabeth. So some of the saints there. And then this wonderful stained glass, it says, "Feed my lambs." So I'm just looking at the pillars here, and you've got these wonderful head corbels here, these beautiful faces of ladies here, and it looks like a gent's face over there. Now, I would have thought that these are 19th century restorations. You can sort of tell by the arch, it's far too like well made really to be anything but the restoration, but it's still nice, and they were really quite good at carving by then. You've got some more fantastic head figures here, and we're now at the high altar, and I just want to just come down a little bit. So when you see this sort of tiling, it's generally like Georgian or Victorian. It's not original medieval tiling, but it is really, I just like it. I just love the colours. Just to show you this, just amazing coloured tiles in the brown and orange, and coming right up to the high altar here, and this lovely stained glass again. You've got Mary, Jesus central as he should be, and John on the right hand side, and you can see the date there, and it says 1899. And this church has also got a piscina at the side. Again, there might have been some restoration to it. So just so you know, this is what a piscina is. It sounds mad, doesn't it, piscina? But it's where they used to put like the Holy Communion, because of course all churches started as Catholic churches until the Reformation, when we basically ditched the papacy and became Anglican. So the Holy Communion was a really special thing. And so they would put like the holy cup and chalice and some of the vestments, the sacraments, inside this piscina while they took Holy Communion. So that's the reason for that. So I'm just going to turn around now and just gently show you the inside of this wonderful building. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing inside St Giles in Costock, and I'm actually in the porch here, and just behind me are these gates, and it actually says on it 1977. So obviously they replaced the gates in 1977, but they're quite nice. Not quite as good as the Victorian ones. We're going to go out and see that in a bit. Hopefully you can see the graves on my next video, because it's a really powerful sunlight at the minute, so sometimes it affects the lighting, but we'll have to see how that one goes. Okay, I'm going to leave that video here, and I'll see you in the next video, still probably in Costock. See you again soon, guys.